Okay, through popular demand and many requests on YouTube, I am going to go ahead and show everybody how to do some quick little samples into your Zoom MRS-1608. On a quick note, I think the Zoom MRS-1608 is a great unit. It's all metal, it's built strong, it's built tough, it's got the 40 gigabyte hard drive. It's slightly inferior to, say, the Roland or the Korg products that are out there that are, standalone. But it was the last of the Zoom products to be built in Japan. Everything else after the 1608 was built in China. Enough said on that one. At any rate, I want to show you how to do some quick samples and how to put them to the pad sampler. So basically, what you want to do is set up a new project. I would press New Project. Having a new project, I use just this project page to load CD samples onto tracks. I don't do any recording on it with my own stuff. I just basically allow it to be my sample pool, my standalone sample pool, so I can pull songs off any of the tracks that I have laid down. Now, every one of these tracks that's lit green has a CD burnt onto it, a CD burnt onto the track. The Zoom is a bit limited because you can't actually sample directly, meaning I can't plug in a microphone and record my voice, or plug it in and record a piano strike or a drum strike. It's a bit more cryptic than that. Anyway, so on to the chase. You're basically going to go to your CDR button. Make sure you have an audio CD in there. It'll pull it up, audio CD. Hit enter. You're going to go over to player. Hit enter. Now it says track 1 digital, so select the track that you want to, or the song on your CD that you want to pull samples from. Excuse me. In this case, you would do, let's say I want to do track 1, one of the songs I like. You would go and hit your record button. Now it says read track. What track do I want to record? I want to record 1. Now it records them in stereo pairs, mind you. So track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up. Now you can do you can't do mono tracks on this, although this does not sample in stereo, which is a bit frustrating, but you can pan your individual samples left and right. Anyways, so that's recording. At that point I would hit play record one more time, and it would record that destination track. Okay, so basically, let's pretend that's already happened. I've got my People Are People sample loaded up here on track 1112. Let me make sure it's there. So there's that. Okay, so I know it's there. Alrighty. So now we're going to go into, hit the rhythm button on the sampler. Hit your track utility sample program. You're going to go to sample. Okay, so hit utility sample and hit enter. This pulls up your sample pool. Now I've already got several samples, I think going all the way up to 50 if I remember correctly. So you got to find one that's empty. Okay, so there's one that says sample empty number 59. I'm going to press enter. Oops, excuse me. I'm going to press utility track button one more time. It says sample import. Press enter. Sample import take. Press enter one more time. From what source? Now I know that my People Are People song that I've loaded is on 1112. So we're going to go to import source 1112 right there. I'm going to hit enter. Now you see it says import start with a 0. Let's say the beginning, we'll do it at import start 0. I would press enter. Now you got import end. You've got seconds, milliseconds, measures, hours, and minutes. Let's go ahead and set the end right there at measure 2. Now you would press enter, or play, excuse me, to hear your actual sample recording. And it'll just keep looping itself. Okay, so let's say I want to keep that as the sample. I would press enter, which I'm going to do right here. It'll say import sure. Press enter again. Import doing. It says it's complete. Import wait. Now, so sample number 59 has what I just recorded. Just like that. So that's sample number 59. It needs to be cleaned up, but that gives you an example. Okay. We're going to exit back out completely, back to my project. Now the pad sampler. How do I get those sounds to my pad sampler? It's really actually quite simple. Excuse me again. You're going to go to your Kit Program button. Hit Kit Program. It shows each pad and what it does. Okay? You actually have to create what's called a pad sampler program. To do that, you're going to use your utility track edit button once more. hold on. Hit the rhythm key. That's what throws people off. Just threw me off. Rhythm. Now you're at utility sample program. Press enter. Okay, it says sample program select. Let's do a new one. Program select, sure, new. There we go. It's loading up a new sample program. Okay, so now I've got my new pad sampler program. Okay, I'm back again. Anyway, so now we've got their sample. We've created a new pad sampler program. We're going to make sure that we're in the pad sampler program. This is one of the bit confusing things on the Zoom I've noticed is, let's say I'm completely out to my main page, hit the rhythm button, hold down drum and bass at the same time, and you'll see the sampler program loading. Now alternately it may load the rhythm. It'll say rhythm, so you have to switch back and hit drum bass again. It'll go back to pad sampler. Okay, so I've got my pad sampler loaded in there because I've just created a new pad sampler. So when I go to hit kit program, you're going to see that all my pads are empty. There's nothing on any of those pads. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, let's say pad 0 kick, I want to put on that sample that I just created. So we're going to do hit the pad sample, insert copy. Now it's loading up all my samples. So let's go find that one I just created, which was sample number 59. You can name these as well. So sample number 59. I know I'm on pad 0. I'm going to hit enter. It says load OK, 344 kilobytes, pad 1, 0. Press enter one more time. It loads the pad. And there it is. Now you can trim those samples also by pressing the edit button. So let's say I'm on my pad sampler. You can edit the samples at any time. So this is my sample. Just go scroll through left or right. You've got your pitch, you've got your drum level, you've got your pan left or right, your V group, I'll explain that in a moment. You've got your reverb send, and you can name the actual sample right there. Okay? So, got my sample in there. Okay, I'm going to show you how to edit the samples. Once again, you're going to the rhythm edit button, hit your track button, sample program, so you can pull up sample. There's your sample. Mind you, the sample pad sampler can only record up to 22 full seconds of samples. So don't think you're going to get away with using it for long beats or rhythms, because the pad sampler will fill up too quickly and you won't be able to use any of the pads. So I definitely recommend keeping your basic samples to less than, say, 300 kilobytes, around there. Okay, so on utility sample, we're going to pull up our samples again. Now that sample that I recorded, I don't really like it that much. You can tell that it's got a bunch of open space at the beginning of it, and I want to bring that open space closer to the end of the sample, the beginning of the sample. So there's my sample. I hit the edit key. It shows my start point on the sample. Now I can go through here, up and down, on the cursor key. It shows my in sample, and you can also name your sample at that point. It shows your size, 344 kilobytes. So I want to make my start point a little farther up. I'm going to say about 500 milliseconds into that. Now you can shorten a sample that's already been created, but you can't extend a sample. So once you've actually made a sample, that's it. Once you go to this edit part, you can't make that sample any longer. So we're going to do 500. Let's see how that sounds by pressing the play button. Now you can hear that the drums themselves are a bit closer. And that's how you edit them. The great thing about the Zoom also is you don't have to save. The minute you do a change to it and you press the exit back out, you've saved your information. At any rate, I hope that clears up some of the problems that people have been having trying to do the pad sampler. Just carry out that same process for each new pad. Get familiar with the combinations of keys you have to hit, and I hope you have fun with the unit. Thanks for watching.